13 minutes past 8, Nathan Haines is back. Last time we had him on the show, he was off to London to make a record. Well, the record turns out to be called 5 a Day, and Nathan Haines is back with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having us on.
Not at all. Now, tell me about London.
Well, it's very big and dirty. But it's 19 years from when I moved there. I moved there in 95. And it's been very good to me. And it affords me a musical career, and it, of course, is an incredible melting pot.
It is, isn't it? And that's where... So you always struck me as a person who doesn't necessarily love London in and of itself.
I love the culture. I just think there's too many people living there.
Right.
I mean, I really enjoyed it in my 20s, but I think London has changed an incredible amount in the last 20 years. In the last 10 years, it's even changed. But saying that, this record is a very British soul sort of sounding record. I don't think I could have made this record anywhere else. And then I get to work with people like Kevin Martrail, who's here, who's from Wembley.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tell me about old Nathan. And his reputation. Because I only ever talk to Nathan this side of the world. So tell me about Nathan that side of the world. And
Nathan, to me, I discovered him here, to be honest. He was doing a show up in Ponsonby, and a mutual friend of ours said, check this guy out. And I went, and you know, I was astounded by his performance, and he invited me on stage, and we jammed, and then he had a track, and then it kind of went from there. And so it was more, I discovered him here, and then I went back to London and realised, okay, you've worked with this person, that person, you know, and here and there. And for me, Nathan Haines, I consider him to be one of New Zealand's finest exports, along with your wine and your...
Oh yeah, the wine's good. The wine's good. What's the jazz scene like in London? Strong as ever?
Well, I'm very honoured to be on the regular at Ronnie Scott's. So I did a week earlier in the year with Marlena Shaw. I've got another week in May. I've headlined there with my own band. Kevin's played at Ronnie Scott's. So Ronnie Scott's is one of the best jazz clubs in the world, definitely the best one in Europe, and they have incredible artists. Shaka Khan just did a week there recently. George Benson did a week there recently. So it's very small and intimate, 100 or so seats, small tables. So that is really cool. I guess I've always been on the periphery of jazz. I'm more mix it up with soul, and then this new record is really about reinvigorating.
Well, I was going to say, this has got a different sound again, hasn't it?
It's more referencing my older records like Squire for Hire, which was a very London record, so it has modern production. It's a beats record, you can party to it. It's not... The last two records have been very acoustic jazz, which was great, but now for me it's about making a record that people want to listen to.
Because I think when you left, the whole concept of going back to London, my understanding was that you'd soak up the place, see how it all feels, what it looks like, you know, what comes out musically, and this is what came out musically.
That's a very apt description, because it really was about that. And I was going to call this record Two Cities for a while, because I felt like my life was between Auckland and London. But this is a very modern record. We use modern production techniques. We broke a lot of rules. We threw the rule book out the window. We've got a lot of great vocalists on there. We've also got Tama Waipara, who won a New Zealand Music Award 2 weeks ago. We've got the wonderful Vanessa Freeman from London. She's come down to New Zealand a lot. So it's a very collaborative...
You haven't mentioned one name there yet.
Linwood.
Yeah, P Money.
P Money. He's not from London, but I've known Peter for probably coming up to 20 years, and we've been wanting to work together for several years. And then when I came to put the record together, I thought, I'll hit Peter up, and he sent me a folder with some beats in, and which became the basis of Count on Me, which is doing really well for us.
Fantastic. And do you have to work, when you collaborate, do you have to be together physically in the studio, or can it all be done these days electronically?
Well, no, because Peter was in New Zealand. Oh. I was over there. So for production and beats and stuff, no, you don't have to. For vocalists, it's great to be in the same room and then feeling the vibes. So for vocalists, I haven't usually done like sending a track and get the vocalist to send it.
No, because the recording process, was it last time you were talking about gee, this is beyond me, but your Ampex 2-track 1950, yes. all that stuff.
Well, those jazz records, we really, really put a lot of research into the actual equipment. So it was recorded straight onto 2-track, onto tape, on a very vintage environment. Whereas this new record, like I say, it's about throwing the rule book out, and we embraced a lot of newer technologies. But it was great to do those analog records in the analog domain to learn about the science of recording.
So what are you getting with the new technologies sound-wise that make it worthwhile or appropriate or better?
Well, for instance, this was all recorded in the home studio in my friend's studio out in Buckinghamshire. We did everything there. We mixed the record ourselves. We didn't have to spend thousands of pounds a day going into a huge, big studio. So I think that's what's happened in music technology in the last several years. You can actually do a lot of stuff yourself, which is great. It means you get all these young people making music, whereas 20 years ago you would have had to spend tens of thousands of dollars to make a record. You can make a record very cheaply if you know what you're doing.
Yes, indeed. And you're back home, you're expecting your little child for Christmas.
We are. My wife and I are expecting a boy around Christmas. So that's been another unbelievable, incredible blessing.
Fantastic.
In our lives. So, yeah, once we get the show out of the way tonight, then I'll be pretty much focusing on reading up about becoming a father.
Oh, it's easy.
Maybe you can give me some tips.
Oh, I can give you tips. I can give you tips up the wazoo. Don't you worry about that. By the way, we're going to give us some tickets away online if you want to go to the website, newstalkzb.co.nz. You got your show tonight at the Tuning Fork at the Vector Arena. Yeah. What are you going to play for us? Because last time you brought in like 900 instruments, which caused no end of technical difficulty for us. So today you've brought in what?
Today I've brought in a bansuri, which is a flute from India. It's made out of bamboo. It doesn't have any keys on it. It's a very rudimentary, I think the design is thousands of years old, so it's a very rudimentary flute, so I've gone completely the opposite direction.
It's a fantastic sound, isn't it? It produces a beautiful sound for what it is. Yeah, basically a stick of wood.
It's a stick of bamboo, yes.
A couple of holes in it. All right.
And this is a song off the album. It's called Hidden Fortress, which references one of my favourite film directors, Akira Kurosawa. He's a Japanese film director. I'm a big fan of his movies from the 1960s. And it features Kevin Martrail on vocals.
Fantastic.
Never leave where you come from. Never leave where you come from. Never leave where you come from. Now the people in land call us home. Never leave where you come from. Call us home. Call us home. Call us home.
tall. In the face of adversity, you know you have to stand tall.
Nathan Haines and Kevin Martrail. The album is 5 a Day. Good to see you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, mate.
Good luck with the little one.
Thanks, man.
And we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you.
It is 23 minutes past 8.